Hee-ju is a modest girl who lost her voice after a traumatic accident in her childhood. She always dreamt of becoming a news anchor, so now she acts as a sign language interpreter for a news channel alongside her friend and fellow news reporter Yuri. However, as she is reporting the weather one day, the screen glitches and the scene where she is denoting a mountain by flipping out her middle finger is played on repeat. The director is furious with Hee-ju, so he doesn't let her translate the next and more important piece of news, which is going to be delivered by the spokesperson of the Office of the President of Korea, yeon. Yeon is the most popular man in all of Korea because of his looks and personality, and the girls are crazy about him even though he has a wife whose face has not been disclosed to the world. He has been briefing the media about government's tough decisions since a long time, and today is no exception. Today he is in the media tower to tell everyone about a pirate attack on one of their country's ships. The pirates have taken the Korean people on it as hostages, and they are demanding release of some terrorists and ransom to let the hostages go. However, Yeon shocks everyone by saying that the government will never negotiate with terrorists, and they will do whatever they can to ensure the safety of their citizens. Hee-ju hears this too, and she is not happy with Yeon's attitude, so she flips him the bird before leaving. Once Yeon has finished broadcasting his message, he tells all the media people in the room that the government is going to impose an emergency on all news outlets to avoid panic and keep the public morale high. He then goes back to his office, his phone constantly buzzing because of calls, but he doesn't pick it. Now let's go back to the reason why Hee-ju showed him the middle finger. Turns out, she is Yeon's wife, and though their marriage is a secret hidden from the world, it is not even worth even mentioning. Hee-ju's mother-in-law insults her, saying that she is a liability to her son and his father, who is aiming to be Korea's next president. She tells Hee-ju to quit her job now before her secret is revealed, and even Hee-ju's mom agrees with her, saying that she will quit it soon. Hee-ju's mother-in-law asks if her selective mutism has gotten any better, and her own mom insults her, saying that the girl is better off not speaking anything. Once the mother-in-law leaves, Hee-ju's mom curses her, saying that she should not have stolen another woman's man if she could not even win his heart after 3 years of marriage. After this incident, Hee-ju decides to go to her apartment, but on the way, her car suddenly starts malfunctioning. She struggles to keep its electronics under control, and then even the brakes start giving up. She somehow avoids an accident and stops the car in an isolated place, but the doors don't open, and the radio starts broadcasting parts of Yeon's speech about not negotiating with terrorists. Hee-ju is already panicking, but then she recalls a new presentation she did about cars being hacked by sending malware in their software. She realizes that her car has been hacked too, so she can't get out of it, and a truck drives straight towards her. On the other hand, Yeon has no idea about her situation, as he is busy receiving reports from his team and trying to come up with a plan. One of his subordinates tells him that the people have discovered his secret past online, and they know that he is a negotiation expert trained by the FBI itself. He jokingly tells Yeon that people are demanding to send him to negotiate the situation, but he has to swallow his laughter because Yeon is dead serious. He then tells his team to get some of his slightly morphed funny pictures deleted and goes to his cabin. On the other hand, Hee-ju is saved from the speeding truck by just a few inches, but then another danger surfaces. She finds a masked man staring at her from a distance, and then he menacingly starts walking towards her. She tries to lock the car doors, but she can't control them, and the masked man gets to her. Soon, Yeon receives a call while he is reading a report, and since it is from an unknown number with another country's code, he decides to pick it up. From the other hand, a distorted voice stutters, telling him that he will kill his wife. Before Yeon can ask anything, his phone's battery dies out. He immediately connects it to a power bank and contacts his mother and mother-in-law to learn about Yeon. His mother-in-law lies to him that Hee-ju is at her place and she is going to stay for dinner, which makes Yeon a bit relieved. He then asks his staff to track the number, but when he returns to his cabin, the kidnapper has called him again. Yeon asks the kidnapper if he has already killed his wife, because he was quite confident earlier. He then says that he has no way to even know who his wife is, and then tells him to stop prank calling him because he is busy. However, the kidnapper dares him to hang up his call because he has a knife pointed at Hee-ju's throat. He asks Yeon how much ransom can he pay for his wife, and Yeon, who still doesn't take him seriously, says that he won't even pay ransom in Monopoly money. Hee-ju is hearing all this while driving the car, and as the call ends, the frustrated kidnapper starts strangling her. She struggles to stay alive and keep the car under control, but the kidnapper leaves her quickly, saying that this is just a warning. He threatens her that if her husband doesn't stop ignoring him, she will surely die, and only one person will be to blame for it. He calls Yeon again, but since he doesn't pick up, the kidnapper stabs the back of Hee-ju's seat, accidentally grazing her neck. He then tells Hee-ju that his phone can't be tracked so easily, and they won't be found as long as they keep moving. He keeps on calling Yeon, and then his subordinate accidentally picks it up. Yeon has had enough of the kidnapper, so he tells him to kill his wife if he wants and call him again when there is a corpse. The call ends with that, and while the kidnapper is frustrated, Hee-ju is devastated. She starts speeding uncontrollably, and doesn't stop even when the kidnapper tries to interfere. She sends the car flying over a speed breaker, knocking out the kidnapper from the impact before stopping. Suddenly, the car radio starts broadcasting news that the situation with the terrorists has been resolved and all the hostages are safe for now. After giving a speech to the press about the situation, Yeon decides to head home, but a journalist named Jin had been stalking him outside the office, and he approaches him for an exclusive interview. However, it is the same guy who posted his morphed pictures, so Yeon drives away, but then he suddenly puts the car in reverse and tells Jin to get in. Yeon then speeds through the highway, telling the scared Jin to investigate the number of the kidnapper. Even though he thinks it is just a phishing scam, he has a bad feeling about it and tells Jin to get to the depth of the things. He then drops him on the side of the road and hurries to his house,